Well, the six again rule is back in the headlights after the recently completed round 16, and it's the final play of the round, which has got everyone talking. Of course, Ben Hunt came up with a bit of a flop tackle on Joseph Tarpany well after the play had been completed, and then depends who you ask, wasn't square at marker. I personally thought he may have been square, but the overall consensus seems to be that he certainly wasn't square and was probably offside. But of course, the six again that was called for the flop under the NRL rules, nothing wrong with it from the referee. That's what he should have done. But the six again rule, I guess, has its flaws in that with 10 seconds to go in the game, it did no benefit for Canberra to have a six again in that circumstance. They had really no advantage from it. And all it did was slow down the play of the ball and ensure that the next play, when Hunt was ultimately able to stop Tom Starling from getting anything out of dummy half, was going to be the final play of the game as the siren sounded. But of course, the six again rule has brought plenty of, it's changed the way we play rugby league, of course. Much faster and more up-tempo game. You certainly can't knock the rule in its entirety for what it's done to rugby league. It's certainly made it a more enjoyable product based on the fact that we used to witness wrestling matches in the middle, essentially. They don't exist anymore, and it is, thanks to the rule changes, but there may need to be further tweaks made by the NRL to get this rule right, to stop teams from simply giving away six agains in the final seconds of games. We've seen it in the final 60 seconds before and questioned its validity, but probably not to this extent where, yesterday potentially a penalty should have been blown. It was almost a professional foul from Hunt, really jumping onto that tackle of Tapani well after it had been completed. So, whether the referee got that part of the decision right is up for dispute. Hunt could have been sin bin for a professional foul, but the rule itself does need some tweaking to stop players from essentially exploiting it in the final minutes, or final seconds rather, of a close game, as we saw yesterday in Wollongong in what were horrendous weather conditions there. Well done as well to the 7,000 or so people that actually turned out for that game.